Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of this week's top 5 camps. Now, in part 1, we covered the top best clean builds of the week. I'll leave a link in the description if you haven't seen it. But in this video, we're going to be covering the top 5 immersive builds of the week. So, without further ado, let's take a look at them. In the number 5 spot this week, we have Alibadboy with the watering hole camp. And guys, this one has been very graciously uploaded by Moonlight Cowboy. So thank you very much for that one, pal. Anyhow, back to the camp. If you're looking for immersion, ladies and gentlemen, this one has got your bloody well covered. I mean, there's a multitude of different things going on, but it does look scrappy, doesn't it? Aye, of course it does. And in all honesty, guys, it looks more like a bloody settlement rather than, you know, a little camp. Now, as I mentioned, there is quite a lot going down here, but I think my favourite part of it is how you've used the abandoned mineshaft shelter entrance, I do believe that is, as like a feature piece in the build. It's a really clever idea, mate, and I think it matches in really well with the overall theme that you're going for. Overall, pal, on the exterior, 10 out of 10. The location's spot on as well. The ash heap, it really does have that shitty kind of vibe to it. It really does lend itself to scrappy kind of builds. Anyhow, let's take a look at some of the interiors. And I must say, I do like what you've done with the place. That spiral staircase, though, is, you know, it's up there on my list of things I love about this camp. Very well done on that. We've also got quite a lot of other cool things going down. This contraption you've got here, I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be, but it certainly catches the eye, I think it's fair to say. Overall, my friend, you've done a stunning job on this one. It's immersive, it's scrappy, and it's a little bit insane as well, much like myself. So yeah, I can appreciate that. Thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, we have Buzz Killington with the Megaton camp. And I love this one for the pure and simple reason it's a pretty good replication of Megaton in Fallout 3. Now yes, obviously it's smaller and there are some slight differences, but I don't think the developers of Fallout 3 had to work to a camp building budget, did they? Now, right off the bat, I love the defensive wall around this gaff. You know, you have used the defensive junk walls, but you've thrown some other shit in there as well to break it up a little bit. I can appreciate that. It's also bloody impressive how you've managed to do this in adventure mode. I mean, your budget must have been screaming at you by the end of it. I bet it's still bloody recovering. And yeah, as well as the defensive wall, you've done a pretty solid job of replicating the town. Like I say, guys, it's not a direct replica, but you can definitely see the inspiration for it, can't you? Truth be told, my friend, the actual town settlement side of this thing is spot on. It's perfect. No complaints whatsoever. Now, onto the interiors. There isn't actually much going down on these, and I'm guessing that's a combination of budget limitations and the fact that I don't actually think there was much in the way of, you know, proper interiors in Fallout 3 either. Now, of course, yes, there was actual interiors, but I don't think they were actually rammed to the rafters with shit, if my memory serves me correct. It's been a few years and I've lost quite a few brain cells since I last played it. So yeah, we'll let this one slide, mate. Overall, you've bloody smashed it. Seriously, fantastic work on this. It's not easy to copy other builds, especially from different games, but yeah, you've done a bloody good effort on it, so fair play to you, man. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the number 4 spot. In the number 3 spot this week, we have Vix with the Foragers Camp, and this is beautiful. And yet again, we actually have another settlement-y kind of build going down as well. I don't know what's in the water this week, but this seems to be the prevailing theme on the immersive side of things. I'm not going to lie though, I'm not complaining. It's pretty cool to see, actually. Now, again, right off the bat, the defensive wall, you've smashed it. It looks absolutely stunning. Definitely something you'd find in the wasteland. I mean, come on, guys, let's face it. If you was living in the remnants of a world destroyed by nuclear bombs, you'd want a bit of protection from the horrible bastards outside, wouldn't you? Haha, of course you would. Now, on the structures front, I like that little treehousey raised building you've got going down there. It's quite an unusual shape, you know, nice little bit of building trickery going down, which I appreciate. It would have been all too easy for you to throw down a rectangle build and call it done, but no, you've put a bit of time into it and added a little bit of shapeliness. I like it. I'm also a massive fan of this little porchy pagoda area here. That looks bloody top notch, that does. Looks like a little central point to the settlement where people could go and get the weapons repaired or, you know, make something to eat. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying, don't you? The interior spaces and decor are also pretty much spot on as well. I love what you've done with the place. It's junky, it's scrappy, and there's just enough of it to make it feel, you know, lived in. Vix, this build is a credit to your skills. You know, the fact that you've done it in adventure mode and still had budget left over to decorate it so well, yeah, good effort on that one. Seriously, you've knocked this out of the park. Thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on the number 3 spot. Coming in number 2, we have Fuzzbrain with the scrappy destroyed trailer home. Now, I'll be honest with you, cards on table. Prefabs for me, they're not really on the top of my favourite list, if that makes any sense. However, I do understand that they're very practical and they do have their uses, and this build is it's a perfect example of that. I mean, just take a look at it. This is one of the most immersive things I have ever seen. It's perfect, Fuzzbrain. The way that you've laid out all the junk it's phenomenal. It looks natural. It looks like it should be there. I'm just going to come out and say it, you know. I think that junk placement must have taken longer than some actual full camp builds, if that makes any sense. Ah, of course it does. You can see that Fuzzbrain has put so much effort and so much time into getting it looking, well, pretty much spot on, to be honest with you. It's perfect, isn't it? The same quality, time and dedication is apparent on the inside as well. You have really made this prefab your own, mate. The decoration is simply sublime, and some of the merge glitches you've used, they really do work well. Fuzzbrain, you've nailed it. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of prefabs, but this one, you know, it could be converting me to the dark side here. Thank you very much for entering this week, my friend. Congratulations on the number 2 spot. That's off to you, mate. Right then, so who's in the number 1 spot this week? As you can see, it's been a very, very tough competition. Some serious builds have been submitted. Unfortunately, before I tell you who has actually won, we've got to just, you know, hold back on them reins a little bit, because it's time for the honourable mentions section, yes. And for this category, we've got 2 of them. The first one is Cool Bro, with the Forest Hideout build. And again, we've got another settlement-y kind of thing. I told you, it's a recurring theme this week for some reason. Now, first things first, the main thing that I liked about this camp is how you've hidden the whole structure in trees. It gives it a really nice effect, like some kind of survivor's little compound, you know, hidden in middle of nowhere. I like it. You've also done a solid job inside of the walls as well. Aye, top marks on this one, mate. Really nice build you got going down here. Thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the honourable mention. Now, our second honourable mention goes to Alex Autoax with Joey Bellows Raider Settlement. And again, I totally forgot actually until I've seen it now. We've got yet another walled settlement. What have you been eating this week? Now, much like the others, this build is insanely scrappy, insanely immersive, and that perimeter wall. It's spot on, pal. I like how you've used the chain link fences to, you know, just add to it a little bit. It's a really nice effect you've got going on there. And of course, as well as the structures and all the things that you've built, the decor is spot on. You've done a really good job at filling the interiors up. Again, it's scrappy, it's immersive. This is top notch, my friend. Alex, thank you very much for entering this week. Congratulations on the honourable mention. More than well deserved. Right then, so now we come back to the top 5. And who's won it this week? Well, I'm not going to keep you waiting for any longer. This week's winner is Last One Left, with the Archlift camp. And this is beautiful, and it does have a little surprise in store as well. Come on, let's take a closer look at it. So first things first, the structure itself. It's actually quite a simple looking build. Looks like a little house, doesn't it? Now, yes, of course, we do have some cool little tricks used, like the overhanging roofs and whatnot, but overall, it's nothing too extravagant. Aye, not very outlandish at all. I must say, though, I think my favourite part of this entire build is the fact that you've used mainly vanilla objects. You know, there's not much Atomic Shop stuff going down in the structure itself. Now, yes, of course, the interior could have some bits in there, but we'll take a look at that in a bit and find out then. Right, so now we've taken a look at that side. As I mentioned, this build does have a little bit of a surprise to it. So if we swing around the back end, we see this. How bloody awesome is that, guys? Last One Left has perfectly incorporated the stone arch into his build. And that crane there, mwah, chef's kiss. Honestly, guys, this is such a clever use of a pre-existing structure, and I don't think I've actually seen anybody incorporate a build into this particular one, as well as Last One Left's done here. This is sublime, mate. Fair play to you. Fair play. Now, onto the interior, and surprisingly, for one of your builds, my friend, it's not actually that ram-packed, and yes, there's not much Atomic Shop stuff going down either. That is actually a nice surprise. It's a perfect example of what you can do without using stuff you've bought. Most of this is actually in the game, and you can unlock it for absolutely nothing. It's either ready to build when you first start, or you can find it by unlocking plans. You know what, mate? Fair play to you on that one. That is a nice thing to see. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, one of the most common comments that I see on these videos is, oh, you can only get in the top 5 if you've spent £97 billion on Atomic Shop items. Well, no, you just have to be a little bit creative if you're not going to use them. Of course, they do add things to a build. That's why Bethesda sell them. You know, that's what they're designed to do. However, Last One Left's camp is a perfect example of what you can do using a little bit of ingenuity, minimal Atomic Shop and scoreboard items, and a shit ton of building prowess. This is fantastic, my friend. Thank you so much for entering this week, and congratulations on the #1 spot. Right then, so that's Immersive camps done. The last section we've got to look at is the top 10 themed and unique camps. I'll leave a link to it down in the description, and I hope to see you over there. I'll catch you in a minute.